Hey guys, Speedmetal here with a look at the Tomb Raider multiplayer. This is just a quick look at the drop-in casual team deathmatch, just like the quick find a game mode. I won't talk about it too much, it's just literally so you guys can have a look at some gameplay. It's very different. It's for anyone that's followed any of the reviews or footage of Tomb Raider, it's a very different game. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The multiplayer is quite difficult, especially if you're a Tomb Raider player and not like a third-person shooter player. It's very action orientated. I find it quite difficult. A lot of the people in this game, there's quite a few people that are quite high rank already. Obviously the game's not out yet. I was lucky enough to get my copy quite early, but it's surprising people are already well over halfway to the top rank. But obviously it legitimate means it's probably a play there. But anyway, back to the gameplay. It does play quite fluent. I've noticed a few lag issues, probably because there's not many people here in the UK that have the game yet. It's probably European and USA players I'm playing with. That could be why I'm facing a bit of lag issues. As for the mechanics, it's pretty good. It's just a third-person shooter. The running and jumping's good. The melee is quite hit and miss, I've found, but I have had a few decent melee kills. You'll find the equipment that you have gets a lot better as you go along. I've had quite an advantage because I've had the special edition. I got a bunch of Hitman guns from Hitman Absolution to use. They're slightly more powerful. They have smaller clips, but they do get the job done. Now back to the game mode itself, casual team deathmatch. It's 4v4 players. You take it in turns. It's best of three games. First to 25 or highest within the time limit, and the time limit's 10 minutes for each round. So they're quite long games. You can get them done quite quickly. I'm just going to show you the first third of this game, which is was my turns as the survivors. Now when it comes to multiplayer, the last thing I thought of would be a Tomb Raider game and a multiplayer sort of functionality to it. But they have not done a bad job turning what would solely be a single player game, and a lot of people are going to be buying it purely for the story. And the first thing I've come on is the multiplayer. There's a heavy element of traps, as you've just seen there. That was the lightning trap. There's quite a few traps in this game. Different ones on different maps. On that one you particularly saw there was just a lightning fork. You can set up a fork as you go past, and just a bit further on there's a switch, and when you see an enemy run past you, flick the switch and it'll send lightning down to that spot that you set up. Other maps are just closing floors and with walls that close in. Also you've got the rope traps. They're on every map. You can set them up, and when an enemy runs through that space, they get stuck up onto the roof. The weapon system's worth discussing. You can have two custom loadouts. I don't know if you can unlock more, but you have two from the start. You can set a pistol or a sidearm, a primary weapon, and the equivalent of perks, which I won't go into too much. And obviously your grenade, which is pretty much in a grenade launcher. I haven't seen anything you can throw it just looks like a grenade launcher. But the way you use weapons is slightly different than, it feels like the Gears of War system. You've got the D-pad. The cool thing I like is you can shoulder swap the weapons by clicking the left stick in if you're holding forward or back at the same time, which I quite like. So obviously if you click it normally you crouch, but if you click it while moving you can shoulder swap, which I think is a really clever idea, and I like that in a third person. If you want to look around a corner the other way around, you can switch shoulder, and it actually really helps. But I do find that sometimes I click it, probably in the heat of the moment. I think we all do it in COD, that you accidentally press the left stick as you go to do an action of some sort. The respawning system is cool as well. You can either spawn at the base camp, which is obviously one side of the map that your team started on, or with any player. You've just seen me get killed there by a special weapon. There's a special weapon in every map. It's either a really good compound bow, or, as you see there, the minigun. I found the minigun's quite powerful. I haven't got it myself, never got to it in time, but it does wipe the floor out of everyone once you've got it. Right guys, well I'm going to leave you with the rest of the gameplay. I'd like to know what you think about this. Obviously this is Tomb Raider's first venture into multiplayer. I think it's quite good. It's going to take some getting used to, mainly because I was getting a battering playing it. I was getting quite angry. But I think I'll get better at it, hopefully anyway, and it's really enjoyable. And it's what's going to turn what would have been a single player game into something with a lot more life, which I think is great. Thanks for watching.